For years, one question has followed Nicolás Maduro. How does a man who presents himself as a modest, left-wing leader, a former bus driver turned president, appear repeatedly in a world of private jets, luxury villas, and elite restaurants? This story is not built on rumors. It is not built on political slogans. It is based on court documents, government decisions, and documented journalistic investigations. From the United States and Europe, what emerges is not the portrait of a single hidden bank account. It is something far more complex. It is the story of how power itself became a form of wealth. Nicolás Maduro was not born into privilege. He grew up in Caracas, in a working-class family. Before entering politics, he worked as a bus driver in the public transportation system. This part of his biography is widely documented and rarely disputed. In the 1980s and 1990s, Maduro became active in labor unions. He organized transport workers. He learned discipline, hierarchy, mobilization. Before his rise to national prominence, he also worked as a bodyguard for left-wing political figures, including José Vicente Rangel. That role placed him close to power, but it did not grant him wealth. At the age of 24, Maduro was sent to Cuba for ideological training at a political school linked to the Cuban Communist Party. There, he absorbed a worldview in which loyalty mattered more than institutions, and political control mattered more than transparency. His ascent accelerated under Hugo Chavez. Maduro became a member of parliament, then president of the National Assembly, and later Minister of Foreign Affairs. Throughout these years, there is no evidence of significant personal wealth. What Maduro accumulated was not money. It was political capital. Everything changed in 2013. After Chavez's death, Maduro became president of a country whose economy was already deeply centralized. At the center of that economy stood PDVSA, the state oil company. For decades, PDVSA generated the vast majority of Venezuela's foreign revenue. Under Maduro, it also became the core of a system of extraction. Multiple investigations estimate that tens of billions of dollars were diverted from PDVSA and related state mechanisms after 2013. This money did not disappear randomly. It moved through shell companies, politically connected intermediaries, opaque import contracts, and foreign jurisdictions. This was not corruption on the margins. It was systemic. For years, Venezuela maintained strict currency controls. The government sold US dollars at artificially low official rates, while the real market rate was far higher. Those with political access could obtain dollars cheaply, import goods, sometimes only on paper, and resell currency or products at enormous profit. Investigators describe this system as one of the primary enrichment mechanisms of the ruling elite. Not entrepreneurship, not innovation, but proximity to power. As the Venezuelan economy collapsed, another image began to circulate internationally. According to a detailed investigation by French broadcaster LCY, Nicolás Maduro was repeatedly seen in environments associated with extreme wealth. He was filmed dining at the Istanbul restaurant of celebrity chef Salt Bae, a venue frequented by Saudi and Russian elites, where tasting menus can exceed $200 per person. This occurred while Venezuela was facing severe shortages of food and medicine. LCI also reported sightings of Maduro at a luxury villa in Coral Gables, South Florida. a neighborhood known for multi-million-dollar properties, with neighbors reportedly including international celebrities. All of this stood in stark contrast with Maduro's official presidential salary, an income estimated at approximately $3,500 to $4,000 per month. LCY made a crucial distinction. Maduro's wealth was hidden, opaque, difficult to quantify. Some sources cited by LCY mentioned figures reaching up to $4 billion. No official number was ever confirmed. What mattered was not the exact figure. It was the pattern. Repeated access to luxury that appeared incompatible with declared income. What is confirmed are judicial actions. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, more than $700 million in assets linked to Nicolás Maduro and his entourage were seized in the United States and the Dominican Republic.
Today, the Department of Justice and State Department are announcing a historic $50 million reward for information leading to the arrest of Nicolás Maduro. The DOJ has seized over $700 million of Maduro-linked assets, including 2 private jets, 9 vehicles, and more.
U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi stated that these assets included luxury properties, aircraft, vehicles, and jewelry. The inventory described by investigators included a 3,000 square meter luxury villa in Punta Cana, 9 bedrooms, a gym, and infinity pool. The inventory of excess didn't stop there. It included business jets, luxury vehicles like a Rolls-Royce, a Bentley, and a Lamborghini. Then, there were the watches. High-end, pieces from Hublot, Chopard, Patek Philippe, and Rolex. Even Maduro's wife, Celia Flores, was cited in the records. Luxury handbags, rare jewelry, all of it, every single piece, included among the seized assets. In January 2026, another country acted quietly, but decisively. The Swiss Federal Council announced the immediate freezing of any assets held in Switzerland by Nicolás Maduro and persons associated with him. The decision was taken under Swiss law governing illicit assets held by politically exposed persons. Switzerland did not declare guilt. The objective was precautionary, to prevent any potential outflow of assets, to preserve them for possible future legal proceedings, with the explicit intention that, if proven illicit, those assets could ultimately benefit the Venezuelan people. Investigations into Maduro's wealth rarely focused on him alone. They focused on networks. Several members of his extended family were implicated in major criminal cases abroad. 2 of Celia Flores' nephews were convicted in the United States for drug trafficking. Prosecutors stated that the case was linked to political protection. Other relatives and close allies were placed in key financial positions inside the state. Senior roles within PDVSA, within the National Treasury. Analysts described it simply as nepotism, as protection. They were placing trusted family members at the financial choke points. Why? To ensure loyalty, to ensure silence. In authoritarian systems, loyalty isn't ideological, it's transactional. No figure illustrates this system more clearly than Alex Saab, a Colombian businessman turned Venezuelan envoy. He became the financial operator of the regime. He played a central role in food import programs, housing projects that were paid for but never completed, and schemes designed to bypass international sanctions. U.S. prosecutors alleged that Saab helped launder hundreds of millions of dollars through international financial systems. For a time, investigators believed Alex Saab could expose the inner workings of Maduro's financial networks. That expectation only grew after his arrest. In June 2020, Saab was detained in Cape Verde during a refueling stop. His plane was traveling between Venezuela and Iran when U.S. authorities, acting on a federal indictment, requested his arrest. The charges were serious: money laundering, corruption, the alleged movement of hundreds of millions of dollars through the U.S. financial system. Venezuela's response was immediate. The government claimed Saab was a diplomatic envoy on a humanitarian mission. They demanded his release. What followed was a long, grueling legal battle. After months of appeals, Cape Verde approved his extradition. In October 2021, Saab was transferred to the United States and jailed in Miami. U.S. prosecutors alleged that he had helped move roughly $350 million out of Venezuela, using shell companies and state-backed contracts, including a low-income housing program. Saab denied everything. He pleaded not guilty. His legal team argued he was protected by diplomatic immunity. For nearly 2 years, he remained in U.S. custody. During that time, both Venezuelan officials and members of the opposition believed Saab could become a key witness, someone capable of explaining how the regime moved money abroad and how they bypassed international sanctions. But that moment never came. In December 2023, the United States granted Saab clemency as part of a negotiated prisoner exchange with Caracas. In return, Venezuela released several political detainees and 10 Americans held in the country. Saab was flown back to Venezuela under the terms of the deal. His return was carefully staged. At the airport in Caracas, he was greeted by senior officials, including the First Lady. Later that day, President Nicolás Maduro embraced him publicly at the presidential palace. State media portrayed his return as a victory. Saab was presented as a loyal envoy who had resisted foreign pressure. The system survived because it adapted. There is no verified figure for Nicolás Maduro's personal net worth, no public bank statements, no transparent asset declarations. Personal ownership is not the same as control over wealth. Maduro may not own everything in his name, but as president, he controlled oil revenues, currency allocation, import contracts, and legal protection. Opacity was not accidental. It was designed. The story of Nicolás Maduro's wealth is not the story of a single fortune. It is the story of a system where public resources became private privilege, where loyalty replaced accountability, where power itself became the ultimate currency. If you found this fact-based analysis useful, consider subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications to receive future videos first. Then tell me in the comments, which part of this story surprised you the most, and why? Your thoughts matter. I read your comments.